Cryptids are not cryptids, man. They were here before us, right? These things didn't strike me as a cryptid because, in my mind, for a cryptid, they're 100% living wild, right? These things had advanced technology, so some type of alien species that was here way before us, a long time ago. I think they're ocean-dwelling species, right? And I'll tell you another reason why that I think they're ocean-dwelling as well. They didn't walk; they floated. So to me, that would tell me that their bone density was probably not as strong to support their weight on dry land. That's another reason that I thought this was weird. They hovered about 3 inches off the ground, according to Charles and Calvin. They didn't walk, so they floated towards them, and they're
They hovered.
and when they took them,
Uh-huh.
they hovered them back.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So that's the first time we've talked about alien abductions before, the Greys and everything else like that. They all walk, right? They all walk around. These things did
It
not walk.
seems like it, yeah.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
didn't walk.
the floaty thing
Yeah.
is different for
They
sure. And
floated.
these don't look like they're not your typical gray aliens.
No, something totally
They're
different, man. Completely different, right?
like you know that you know what it reminds me of? You know those little balloon squeezy things when you
Yeah.
squeeze
Right.
it,
Yeah.
its ears pop out and its eyes pop out?
Yeah. Just like that,
Like
man.
that.
So their
Yeah.
bone density is not strong enough to support their weight on land, right? They're pale white because no sun, because they're living in the ocean, right? And their
Uh-huh.
eyesight, they had eyes, but their eyesight wasn't that great because it wasn't their main mode for having to see, right?
Primary sensory, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Or it could be a bioorganic suit.
could be, but again, it wouldn't explain the not walking, though, right?
Well, sure it would. I mean, that would be the explanation for it not walking. If it's a some sort of a piece of technology,
I
right?
mean, so you would think it would be like
Hovering, and the individial is inside because
it's
it's
an octopus.
aquatic and used to dark.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking, right?
Right. It's
Like I'm
probably an
thinking
octopus,
cephalopod, right?
cephalopod or something like that. Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah.
Mimicking because because they've seen us.
Yep.
But they don't live that long. See that's what's so fascinating, right? Like for me it's an intelligent species uh developing underwater is going to be different than us
100%.
in a big way because our main tool is fire.
Right. So,
It's not a thing.
we'll circle back on that. So, Charles Hickson and Calvin Parker, they were taken aboard this UFO, and they went through a some type of watery, not watery, but the wall liquefied, and they passed through the liquid, which I think is pretty cool. And of
Yeah,
course,
right.
and of
Terminator
course,
stuff.
yeah, and then they were split up. One went into one room, one went into the other room. And here's where it gets a little bit. Here's where it gets a little bit strange, right? So they
Hmm.
say terrifying, right? So I think the younger guy was named the younger of the two is Calvin Parker. So Calvin Parker said that he was in a separate room, and Charles Hickson was in a different room. Charles Hickson claimed that he had three of the three squishy ones that took him were examining him, but they weren't very physical with him. It was more mental probing, mental, you know, checking him out.
Asking questions,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
and they did not try to calm him down, not one time, not once. They were just, he said, robotic like in the nature that they were handling him. Again, the same way we would handle lab rats or lab monkeys. We still give them cheese and feed them, but at the same time, when it comes time to give them a shot, we got no problem pulling it out and doing it, right? But the younger guy, Calvin said that he had a totally different species of alien that was working on him. She was a female, big
Hmm.
almond eyes. Didn't say if she was attractive or not, but she was more not like these things, but different, right? Kind of a, he didn't really give a great explanation of what she looked like. Not human, but again, not a full gray. Speaking to him telepathically, telling him it's going to be okay, we're not going to hurt you, calm down.
Hmm.
And he got so scared he passed out, came back around, and she was like, and she was commenting again. And the whole time she's calming him down, she takes her hand and sticks it up into his mouth and goes into his nasal cavity from inside of his mouth, which has got to be a painful experience to begin with.
Yeah,
I've never
it's
had
not
that happen
pleasant
to
at
me
all.
before. Took some DNA, took something, whatever, came back out. And yeah, he claims, and this is where I actually, I'm going to go on record right now. I believe these guys, but here's my big problem with when I have with these UFO abductions, right? They remember all those horrible details, but then he claims she was about to tell me something important.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.